Hello again. This lesson will show you how to get more comfortable with a technique called alternate picking. So what I want you to do first is hold down an A minor chord, just an open one there. And then we're going to apply this alternate picking technique just whilst holding that chord, okay? So this side is not really doing a lot of work here. We're going to focus on this side. So that may be very easy to you or something you haven't done before. So I'm going to go through all the technical points about what will make that easy for you. So even if you're already proficient at this technique, stick around for a few minutes just to listen to this. So one of the most important things is, have a good pick to start with. Don't have a really flimsy pick that's well worn, it doesn't have any kind of point on it, okay? Get a decent pick first. Then the angle at which you play the strings is very important. So notice I'm not playing with a straight angle like this, so the strings go across parallel, okay? But the pick doesn't actually go through the string parallel like this. It can do, but I'm going to suggest to tilt to the angle so that you're cutting through the string, because there'll be less resistance to get through the string that way. You'll also be able to build up much higher levels of speed if you cut through the string at an angle like that. There's just going to be way less tension in your arm instead of trying to really cut through it like this. It's possible, but I do insist that you'll be able to get better sound, better speed and better accuracy if you cut through the string at an angle like that. Kind of the way you strum a chord, your arm naturally follows this kind of path, and when we pick through the string, that's the same kind of angle I'm talking about. So what I want you to try is hold down that A minor chord and alternate pick through each string except the low E string. So you're going to go down up from this string down to the skinny string. Now then, what I want you to think of, as well as the pick angle, is the distance that your pick travels when you're trying that sort of thing. The pick does not need to do this kind of thing. All these big movements in the pick and the hand coming away from the guitar. We don't need all that stuff, okay? That's unnecessary movement, and it's going to prevent the accuracy and the speed that you can achieve in the future. So after you play a note, let's do a down. The pick just has to cut through the string slightly and stop. It's stopping in this part between the string you just played and the next string, okay? It's not coming all the way off the guitar like that. Okay, that's wasted movement, because if you do that, you're going to have to find the string again, bring it all the way back down. We don't want that sort of thing, okay? So you just cut through the string and the pick will stop kind of in the middle there until you get to the next string, just in that little gap. Don't let it go too deep in there as well. So don't show too much pick, okay? If you show loads of pick like this, it's going to get caught in between the strings. I only really show about 1/3 to 1/4 of the pick. That's all that's going to be poking out. The rest is all covered up, okay? You can be a bit looser when you're using a pick for strumming, but for this kind of thing, you don't want a lot of pick in the way. It's going to prevent your ability to cut through the strings. Another thing to help you with this is you might not be sure where always best is to rest your hand. I know, noticing beginners, their instincts to kind of latch on down there. I'm pretty sure I did that too at the start. What I'm going to suggest is, if you need to rest your weight somewhere, use this side of the guitar, not that side, okay? So when I'm playing this little A minor exercise, what I'm doing is I'm resting kind of those parts of my hand on the body and sometimes the lower strings that I'm not using, okay? So the weight is there. So it means I can still access all the strings nice and accurately. I'm not having to go searching from this kind of position with the hand in the air. And if you're leaning there, you might build a bit of tension in those fingers too. The weight is balanced there. And then it gives you good, accurate access to the strings. Now then, I'm going to show you some alternate picking sequences, okay? And these are all part of something called the A minor pentatonic scale. So just to run through the scale, this is the first thing I want you to do. So on every string there, we're alternating the pick strokes, alternating downs and ups. So it's going to be down, up. Same again on the next string. Same again. Same again. Again. And again. Now when we come back down here, just on this high E string, we just did down, up. Then you do another down, and then as you're coming to this second string here, you're going to now kind of change up your picking motions. It's going to be up, down, okay? As you're coming back down the scale. Up, down. And notice I'm still using this side of the guitar to rest. The hand can kind of move across and even sit on those lower strings you're not using. And then as it comes back this way, you just pull your arm back, okay? So the weight is on this side of the guitar as opposed to down there. Now let's get to some cool little sequences and exercises here. So I want you to go through them, just basically studying and analysing your own technique. Something you have to do to get better as a player, learn to self-analyse. So pay attention to all the tips I gave you earlier and then just try and apply those same principles to those little pentatonic sequences, okay? Then, to make this, not an exercise, sound like music, I want you to use the backing tracks I'm going to provide you. So I'll link them to you. I'll put them in the description box below. And there are some things called 12-bar blues backing tracks. All the things you learned there will sound good over them. So all you have to do is press play and then start playing them over the top of that. And I guarantee you they'll immediately sound much more like music, and your playing will sound pretty good. Okay, so learn the exercises, then go use the backing tracks and have fun.